Okay. So today, we start off with three great men, thriving in power from the Renaissance. Hieronymus Cock, yes, that's how you say it, Niccolo Machiavelli, and Michelangelo. These people, these things, these men, these. Okay, I'll stop right now. They represent three individual things from the Renaissance: Michelangelo, architecture; Niccolo, literature and writing; and Hieronymus Mr. Cock, art. Alright, let's start and evaluate these pieces and see how they represent the Renaissance. First, starting out with Michelangelo. Michelangelo was an architect, artist, and much more, but one of his pieces was known as St. Peter's Basilica. It was worked on by him, Raphael, and other architects. Looking at a photo of it, you can see the amount of detail on it, the intricate architecture and design, and how cordially laid out it is. It has a dome on the roof and large standing pillars over it, and how many arcs as well. Along the roof, it showcases a humanistic feature, aka people, along it, looking over to show a new sign of belief, how there isn't God every corner you turn, and how we all see people as a part of new architecture and design. The innovation, this is great. The time and the interior and the detail-oriented fashion of people instead of heaven is a showing of the Renaissance in this piece. Moving on, we have Niccolo Machiavelli, knowingly for his piece, The Prince. The Prince, in summary, is an analysis of how to acquire and maintain political power. Something you can now do in the Renaissance. It's basically, you can climb the social ladder, unlike back in feudalism. It also goes over the previously principled princely government, which would be feudalism, and how it didn't work and how it was open to abuse of power, cruelness, and unneeded force. It represents the new political era and social ladder of the Renaissance, evaluating it to its core, looking over what it left behind, and showing what it's introduced to people. Hieronymus Cock was an artist of the Renaissance. Well, not, famous, but an important one at that. He was a Belgian printer and creator of many artistic pieces that showcased the Renaissance very well. One piece that I decided to look over is Cephalus and Procris. Showcases, it's not gloomy, it's not the Middle Ages, it wasn't dark, religious, and had no background. It was new, it had good architecture in it, it had nature as a primary in the foreground, it had things that weren't Mary and Jesus in the foreground, and it even had dogs. A great representation of this is to be shown as not to focus on the Renaissance, not focused on something like that. Either way, this print has all elements of art in the Renaissance that make it the Renaissance. Nature, people, animals, no focus on religion, and buildings that are 90% probably not churches. Now, let's move on from evaluating these losers' artworks. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, Michelangelo. And let's focus on what I made in Roblox. It's quite sad. Either way, it's a piece of architecture. It's based off of a Capitol building and has a few elements from St. Peter's Basilica when I was looking over it, but it's mainly its own thing, like a thing, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but this is basically it. It is a piece which is basically, it has lots of arcs in it, pillars, a large dome right here, it has a gold ring running around it, it has brick, it has concrete kind of pillars and walls. It has these step thingies that go up to it, and these are all of its unions. It features this one sloping in roof thing, and it features this as well. A little center cylindrical decal there. And then we have the dome, which is mainly featured on the top. It's very reminiscent of a state capitol, which is what I got most of the inspiration for it from. It has more of these pillars going throughout it. It has the same kind of arcs that go all the way around, creating the windows and dome. And then it has the one chiming top bit dome. It's basically the same on the back, just without the front steps on it, which are absolutely enormous. These giant slate pieces. Either way, this essentially, in essence, is what I created for my own bit of architecture from it. There's not much to it. There's no real interior. This is just what I've gathered from the Renaissance, the dome, the pillars, the no crosses in church, the fact that it's made for people and for political featuring, not, God. So that's just about that. Great. Now thank you all for watching and sitting through this horrific attempt at my presentation. I screw up everything. Enjoying the dancing bears? Yeah, I thought so. They're great and they're even better than the Renaissance. Look at these bears dance to 80s music. Eucharistic Street Dreams. There you go. Alright. See ya, class. If you look to the back of the room, in the corner, you're gonna see me laughing. Yeah, I'm just telling you the directions for what to do. As you watch the dancing bears on the screen, you can also watch me laughing at this horrific presentation.